Hello, GXTV people. Welcome to our first major podcast. I'm here with Tom Champion.
Hello, how you doing?
All right, and you?
Yes, not too bad at all. Very excited about this.
Me too. A bit nervous as well.
It'll be fine.
All right. First on the list is introductions. So if you want to talk about yourself and what you do.
Sure. As I said, I'm Tom Champion. I'm Eurogamer's community manager. The bulk of my job is focused around the Eurogamer Expo, on which I'm the community and gaming manager. So basically that breaks down into two areas. The community management part of that is doing stuff like this, doing podcasts and interviews and things. And I also man our Facebook and Twitter account and all that sort of stuff, and just talk about the Expo to all the people who are coming along, really, do newsletters and that kind of thing. And then the gaming manager part of the job is just about being there on the day and making sure that we have all the equipment we need, making sure we have all the right games and accessories and peripherals and that sort of stuff, and then just making sure that the show runs as smoothly as possible during the 4 days as it is this year. And that's pretty much it, really.
Fair enough. Sounds like an interesting job.
Yes, it's not too bad. I've fallen on my feet.
Well, a bit about me. I'm Kyle Horwood. I work for GXTV. Well, I don't really work because we don't get paid. But I make video games in my spare time when I can because I got a high interest in actually being in the games industry and making video games. I also do other stuff when I can. Like I like going on adventures, stuff like just long walks and abseiling, rock climbing. I like to do stuff. It's a bit
This is turning into a proper. This is turning into like some dating video. I didn't sign up for this.
Oh yeah. I'll be getting your number at the end.
Good grief.
All right. Let's talk a bit about Eurogamer and what it is.
Eurogamer as a company, I started in 1999 just as a website. I say just as a website. It's now grown to be, one of the world's leading video games websites. But in 2008, they started the Eurogamer Expo. I wasn't part of the first one, unfortunately. But yeah, it's basically it started out as an exhibition where people just came along and played the latest games or games that were just about to be released over Christmas and that sort of thing. And over the last few years, it's kind of really grown. Last year was the first year that we did Earl's Court, which is obviously a massive venue. And this year we're doing 4 days, the same venue as last year, but we're taking twice as much space. And we're going to have 30,000 people there from 22nd of September to the 25th. And yeah, it's going to be a great show. We're planning to have loads of games there. We've already announced loads of cool stuff. And yeah, we've got more features planned than last year as well. So yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy this year, I think.
Yeah, it sounds really, really good. I'm definitely looking forward to it. I remember last year, because you had some kind of other thing opposite it, some kind of wedding ceremony thing going on.
Oh, we had the wedding exhibition. I think it was on the floor below us. Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason my college course went towards there, and I was like, "What? I don't want to go to this."
Disaster. Yeah. You didn't want to end up. You didn't want to end up in there. But I don't think we're clashing with that this year.
Oh, that's good.
I think in fact there might not be anything happening on the floor below us. So yeah, there should be no such confusion this year, I hope.
Okay, that's good. I don't want to end up, I don't know, appearing at some fairy fair or something.
I don't think anyone wants to end up married. That's the important thing.
Yeah. So last year went really, really well. I definitely enjoyed it. It was really inspiring because obviously I wanted to make video games. I got a couple of details and stuff.
Cool.
But the only downside is I was waiting to play Fable 3, and just as I was about to grab a controller, some girl butted in and was like, "My go," and I was like, "Oh." So
yeah, I think queuing is always going to be like probably the biggest challenge that we have, and I recognise that it can be quite frustrating sometimes because we don't have kind of like a formal queuing system for all the games. But this year we're planning to have a lot more, many more volunteers. We're also encouraging the publishers to bring along a lot more of their own staff as well, so they can sort of manage queues. And we're going to be, I hope we're going to be putting up some signs dotted around the place that say things like, please, respect everyone who's at the show and move on after you've had a good amount of time on the game. Because we kind of think about 15 minutes playing on one game is enough for any one person, and after that they should probably give it up and let someone else have a go, really. But yeah, it's never going to be perfect, but as I say, we've got a lot more space this year, we've got a lot more consoles coming, so we hope that those sort of things will kind of help the queuing situation, and along with more volunteers and all that sort of stuff.
All right, yeah, I remember Brink and like Gears of War 3 had a queuing system, but then you had there was kind of one for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but
yeah, because it was a multiplayer demo, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the good thing about that is people would just play it after their game's over. They just go and then someone else can go on it, and I really enjoyed that game.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult because as you say, we had formal queues for a few games, Assassin's Creed, I guess, I think Medal of Honor as well, Brink, Gears of War, and also I think Nintendo had a queuing system for, I think they were showing off Zelda last year.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people then complained that the queues were. I think at one point the queue for Brink was 2 hours long, for instance, which obviously is a long time.
Yeah.
At the same time, you think, well, okay, it's really difficult for us because if we have formal queues, then that means people will, queue in a very rigid way, and then it kind of takes more time. And also, queues are going to be inevitable for the most popular games. But then if you just have a free-for-all system, then people will complain about that as well because very often people don't want to just sort of dive in and grab the control pad, and we completely understand that. So yeah, it's always a difficult kind of balancing act for us, but we think we've got a lot more features this year, which means there's much more to do than just playing the games. Obviously there is that if that's what you want to do, but we've got a lot more features this year, and I think people are going to be really surprised and happy when they see what they are, and that'll give people the option then to go off and do other things rather than if they don't want to get involved in like the scrum for games and all that sort of stuff.
Alright, fair enough. I remember because I was coming with my college, we only were there for like a couple of hours, and I didn't get enough time to do everything, especially waiting in a huge line, so I just had to rush it. But this time we're here for the whole day this year, so definitely looking forward to it.
Good, yeah, and it always quietens down. Like the afternoons are always much quieter than sort of the mornings and early afternoon. If you like from about kind of 3 or 4 p.m. onwards, the show does quieten down. So, if you are frustrated about being there in the morning or whatever, and you find you can't get on everything you want, if you wait a little while and then come back in using your wristband or whatever, you'll find that you should be able to get on stuff a little bit easier.
Alright, that's definitely good to know. So, what's going on this year? Any big games that you've announced yet?
Yeah, 1 or 2. Yeah, we've talked about some. We've gone public with a few big games so far. So Battlefield 3, Dark Souls, Mass Effect 3, Ninja Gaiden 3, The Old Republic, which is going to be huge, Rage, Need for Speed: The Run, all that sort of stuff. We've already announced. And then we've also got loads more playable games to talk about as well. We've got more stuff to come from Bethesda. We've got Ubisoft games. We've got Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo stuff that we haven't even talked about yet. And then we've got other publishers as well supporting us, guys like Capcom, Sega, and THQ. And they've all got some big games coming this year as well. So look out for some more announcements very soon, I hope. I hope maybe even this week we'll have another couple of announcements. So look out for that. Because there's tons more to come in terms of like playable games, and then we've got everything else as well. So everything that was there last year will be back again, like the Indie Arcade, which is always really popular. That's kind of showcasing indie games. It's always goes down really well every year, and that's going to be back again. Career Fair, that will be back. We're planning to really expand the Career Fair this year, actually. We've got some plans to really kind of upgrade it. It's going to have a bigger space. It's going to be in a better area of the show. It's going to have more time and manpower devoted to it. So we're really looking forward to kind of expanding that. And then other stuff, we've got the developer sessions as well coming back. They're always really popular. We're planning to have more tournaments this year too. We're going to have another tournament area. We're going to have. We're encouraging all the publishers to run tournaments as well in their own kind of little areas as well. So that would be great. We're also planning loads more giveaways, so people are always asking for free stuff.
Yeah,
which is good. So we've got high hopes that through us encouraging publishers to bring along giveaways and stuff, that people will be satisfied when they leave the show with a handful of freebies and all that kind of thing. And a new thing actually we've got this year, which I'm really looking forward to anyway, is going to be the retro area.
Retro?
Yes, we're doing a retro area in conjunction with the guys at Replay. Replay, they do a big retro show every year up north. I think it's in Blackpool. And we've teamed up with those guys, and they're going to be putting on the retro area of our show. So we're going to have old consoles from the 80s and 90s. We're going to have some like Spectrums and Mega Drives and Super Nintendos and Nintendos, and we're also going to have some arcade cabinets there as well. So there's going to be some old arcade games too. They're going to be running tournaments in that area as well, so you're going to have a chance to play. I think the plan at the moment is to do kind of like Super Mario Kart on the SNES, tournaments on that and all that kind of thing. So, that's all great for people who grew up with those consoles like me.
Oh, I did. I remember the Sega. And,
we're going to have Mega Drives and Saturns and all that sort of stuff.
What's that other one? The Amiga or something like that? Amiga?
I had an Amiga.
Yes,
500
I remember.
Plus when I was a kid. So yeah, I think we're going to have some Amigas there and Atari STs. If anyone listening is old enough to remember the fanboy wars over which was better, the Amiga or the Atari ST, the answer was the Amiga, obviously. But yeah, I think we're going to have a couple of those there as well. So that's going to be a really exciting area, actually. I think people are going to be really interested in that, and we've got a lot of different consoles. We've got some. I think they're planning to have some like quite niche stuff there as well, like the Wonder Swan maybe, and PC Engine stuff that only really came out in Japan. So yeah, that's going to be great. That's going to be a really nice little area, and that's brand new for this year. It's not a feature we've done before, so that's something to look out for as well.
Yeah, it definitely sounds good. I definitely like the retro games. I still listen to chiptune music because people tend to put chiptune music with dubstep now, and I listen to that, and I really love it. It's really, really good.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm going to have to check some of that out, I think.
Yeah. I hope Bethesda's going to bring Skyrim. That's definitely a big game I'm looking forward to get my hands on.
Well, as I say, we've announced Rage from Bethesda, but we've also got more stuff to announce from Bethesda. I can't say whether or not that's Skyrim at the moment, but
Yeah, that's understandable.
How many games have they got?
Oh, bloody hell, loads. They've announced a new one, haven't they? Dishonored or something like that.
Dishonored, yeah, I think it's due out next year. But yeah, maybe it's Dishonored, maybe it's Skyrim, maybe it's Prey 2. We'll never know. Well, actually, you will. Hopefully, you'll know this month.
Yeah, I've booked a whole week off my part-time job just to play Skyrim when it comes out.
I think that's wise. Were you a big Oblivion fan?
Oh yes, definitely, and Morrowind.
Morrowind, yeah, I see. I love Morrowind. I think I'm one of those annoying people who preferred Morrowind to Oblivion.
Some aspects of Morrowind I did much prefer than Oblivion as well.
I like the flying. They got rid of the flying for Oblivion, didn't they? I just love in Morrowind just like flying about like an idiot. Yeah,
and the like you got the fast travel. I don't like that on Oblivion. I think people should have to walk and explore and look at the world as it is. It's marvelous. So just using those rider things where you just point where you want to go. Yeah,
Morrowind had that nice setup where you had to kind of walk. You could walk to places and get on. They had those weird creature things, didn't they, on big legs that
made
sort of stomped around the place, and you could get on them. I quite like that idea of having to go somewhere to then fast travel. Even though it's a bit sort of convoluted, it sort of, I don't know, it feels more immersive, doesn't it?
Yeah, one thing that annoyed me about Morrowind is